Now, welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes.
Or without them.
Well, let's get right to the news. Let's not worry about the debate about what people want this to be called.
I mean you.
Okay, maybe just me.
Okay. So, first one is kind of a news story, kind of a rumor, not sure. So, Jon Favreau signed apparently a really great deal with Lucasfilm.
An insane deal, I believe it's called.
Insane, in quotes. So it's
well, that
important.
makes it important, yes.
After the success of the Season 1 Mandalorian. According to the sources...
sources, yeah. They don't even have, like...
Mysterious
we don't even, like,
sources.
name... Yeah, that's the world today.
Yeah.
Sources said.
So, he was only originally signed on to do Season 1 of The Mandalorian, but then it kind of exploded in popularity. Maybe Grogu was his brainchild.
Well, it's Grogu was Favreau and Filoni, from what we understand. Who knows who had the original concept here.
The crazy popularity of the show, the demand for more of the show, kind of becoming a signature series on Disney+. Favreau was able to leverage this to getting a crazy contract to keep him with Lucasfilm.
Well, good for him. I mean, I'm sure fans are... I'm happy with him getting an insane deal. I mean, Disney is going to make a ton of money, so, you know, it should trickle down to the creators and the people involved as well, right?
It's that simple. If you do a fantastic job, then you should definitely... They should accommodate to keep you doing a fantastic job.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
That's how sports works. You're a great sports player, you get a good contract deal.
Yeah. I mean, I've said before, like, I don't necessarily or inherently have a problem with the idea that Disney makes money off of Star Wars, or that, you know, that's just how the world works, for better or worse. We could certainly have a debate about all of that stuff, but let's not. So the idea that, you know, one of the guys who is really bringing it to us, who is making the money for them, gets rewarded, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I always talk about, I prefer people who have the passion for it over people who just want the money, but hey, if you're successful, I think that's a great thing, and you deserve to reap the reward. So if this is true, and it comes from sources, so who knows how true it is. But yeah, great for Filoni, or Favreau, excuse me. I'm sure Filoni has got a pretty paycheck as well, but
he's probably
great for those guys.
And he lives there.
If the fans are happy and Disney is making money, then yes, these guys deserve to be rewarded. That's what it's all about. If you can keep both ends happy, which sounds strange, but if you can do that, yeah, pay the guy. Absolutely.
Yeah, the people who are making the fans happy deserve to stay working on the project. It's that simple.
Pay them what needs to be paid.
Well, just like some of the directors from Season 1 and Season 2 of The Mandalorian, anytime I see an episode with their names coming out in it, I'm like, oh, this is probably going to be a good one because I liked the last episode they did. So I'm glad when they keep working with the people who are making the things that we want to see.
Yeah, like Bryce Dallas Howard, Deborah Chow.
Definitely.
I mean, keep them on board. Pay them. Get them in here.
Pay them. They're doing a good job.
Yeah. We always hear that Disney, or I believe, is kind of inherently cheap when it comes to that because it's Disney, so of course you want to work for us, but pay these people and they'll make you money. Pay the people who love Star Wars to make Star Wars, and everybody ends up happy. What an incredible concept.
So let's move on to our next little blurb here. In June, The Mandalorian Season 1 is getting a comic book adaptation. All 8 episodes in 8 books.
Interesting.
There's a lot to be said with that. Like, are they going to delve deeper into some things? Are they just going to gloss over other things? I mean, 1 episode and 1 comic book is a tough bill.
That is. I mean, because it probably is just going to be pretty much a straight translation with maybe an extra little tidbit here or there. I mean, one of the things I like about novelizations of the movies is you can, slow down and go into some of the things the movies just don't have time for, which isn't always the case, and I don't know how much creative freedom they're necessarily given. A lot of people bring up the novelization of Revenge of the Sith, which is one of those I want to reread. Haven't read it in 17 years or whatever it is now. So it is nice when they do that and can, like I said, slow the story down, go into some of the details the movie just doesn't have time for pacing reasons and other reasons. So,
when if you write it in a perspective type deal, like if you write a book or a comic book in a certain character's perspective, you can get inner monologue, things that you cannot see when you're watching it on the screen.
Yeah, that's the beauty of reading, which people just don't love to do quite as much these days. You can get into that inner monologue without it being kind of cheesy when you do it in the film, when you have the character literally talking to themselves. But so that is nice. It is cool to kind of get into the heads of some of these characters, as long as that's what they're going to do, and it's just not going to be a straight take what was said in the show, put it in comic form, and that's it.
What would be a fun idea is to write a comic book adaptation from Grogu's perspective.
That would be,
It'd
that
be
would
so
probably sell
funny.
pretty well. That would probably be...
To kind of hear what's going through his head when he's going after like the shiny ball, when he's doing the things he does, when he's eating eggs.
Yeah, I mean, because it is heavily implied. I mean, we have Ahsoka and Luke have both basically had forced conversations with him, so clearly he's not a baby mentality where there's nothing going on in his...
It's a 50-year-old man right there.
Not that there's nothing going on in a baby's head, but we all know their cognitive functions are not what an adult's is. So it's curious to know what is going on in Grogu's head.
I mean, he's adult enough to get to choose if he's going to stay at the academy or leave, so
Yeah,
I don't
he made
see
it.
why not.
Yeah, I mean, if Luke is willing to give him this choice, clearly he's not, a complete infant here. He can make a very important life decision,
A sound decision, yes.
even at the age of 50. I mean, he's old enough there at 50.
Okay, so let's move on to our last story today. Star Wars Insider is going to be celebrating the 20th anniversary of Star Wars Episode 2 with Galactic Tales.
20th anniversary. I'm sorry, I have to pause at the 20th anniversary of Episode 2.
Yes,
How
we
is
know
that
you're
possible?
old.
God, I remember seeing that in the theater.
No, with my... Gotta get his cane out here.
Yeah, soon enough. Soon enough, I'll be like Yoda walking around.
So, Star Wars Insiders come out once a month, and they sometimes have little stories inside, and these stories are considered canon.
Yep.
So, beginning on March 15th, the issue of Star Wars Insider, there's going to be one of the 4 new stories, so I'm assuming once a month.
Probably, yeah.
Alright, they're going to be featuring popular Episode 2 characters. So, the first story we're going to see is going to be Zam Wessel. It's going to be her teaming up with Boba Fett before he ends up being
Jango?
her demise.
I think you
Oh
mean
my gosh,
Jango,
yeah,
yeah.
wrong Fett.
It's all right. They're played by the same actor. It's pretty easy to get those. I mean, he's a clone, so
Wow, you're right.
we'll cut you some slack on that one.
So yeah, first up is Zam Wessel. Second, we're going to get a General Grievous mission. He's going to be undertaking one to retrieve a Jedi artifact.
Ooh.
Third up, we're going to have Dexter Jetster.
I mean, is that not the one everybody wants?
He's going to be leaving his diner to help a friend in peril.
What did I mean? I think
There's some diehard fans of Dex in the Discord.
if I could pick one character to know, like, what is his story? Let's get Dex. Let's explore this man's history.
Bolsith, looking at you. Alright, and the last story we're getting is a Mace Windu story about him and a squad of clone troopers going to be hunting down a deadly foe. So they gave us lots of description about what these stories will be.
A line, a sentence.
A thought.
I mean, I've obviously read pretty much all the canon stories in the Star Wars Insider. They're fun little stories. They have the same issue a lot of the stories do, where they just kind of take a character and have an excuse to give him a story, which, it's fun. It's okay. It's not groundbreaking. I'm sure these stories will be, what they are.
About a Jedi has 365 days of adventure.
Pretty much what it seems to be. Every moment of every day of the life of some of these characters is filled with life and death adventure that they somehow always come out on top of. Like I said, fun stories. I'll read them. We'll probably maybe discuss. We talked about discussing on this channel more some of the canon stories because I read it all. You try to keep up with it as much as you can, and you're meaning to read more as well. So that's fine. Yes.
Someone's got to keep Thor on schedule.
Somebody does, because it isn't Thor. But anyway, no, fun stories. I'm fine with those. I like the little insider stories. It gives, some of these authors a chance to, do some Star Wars, which is what we want to do. Like, I love telling stories.
A little extra layer of interest to a character, extra layer of personality. It's nice.
All right, well, I guess that's all we've got for you this time. Now it's your turn to take to the comments below. Tell us what you think of any of these stories. Tell us what you think about this rumor of, Favreau being paid all this money. Is it well-deserved or not? I think it is, but I think most will agree it is. Anyway, leave those comments below, and let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.